My initial interest in the Navy started at a young age by going to work with my dad, and from there on I then joined the Sea Cadets at a young age. Did that right up until I was 17, and then obviously applied at the time I could apply for the Navy at the age of 16 back then. When I joined up, I knew my parents were very proud of me because they kind of wanted me to join the Navy anyway. And the reason why that is, my uncle, who I never got to meet from my mum's side, he was also Royal Navy. My last draft in the Navy was to work for the Queen's Harbour Master in Devonport. And basically what that meant is all the ships and total ships that come into Devonport had to be arranged to come in, come out, tugs had to be allocated to those jobs. And my job was to help assist, obviously, in the planning side of it. So my job in the Navy, working for the Queen's Harbour Master, was going to be civilianised. So it basically meant that from a Navy point of view, this job's up, it's time to move on to a different job within the Navy. Then someone said, well, why don't you apply for this job? Obviously, yes, it would mean you leaving the Navy, but why don't you apply for it? But it's a case of just weighing up my options. At the time, I was done 24 years service, and I must admit, I've heard a few horror stories of transition, you know, from military life to civilian life, trying to find a job when that time comes. So anyway, I applied for the job and basically I was successful. Then I made that decision. I thought, do I or don't I? And I basically made a decision, you know, I'm time done. I'm proud that I've done the time that I have done. At some point in my life, I need to make that decision or make that transition from military life to civilian life. And everything seems to fit. You know, I'm going into a job that I kind of already know. I kind of know that people are ready, which is a bonus. So I accepted the job and left the service. It's not as daunting as it might seem. I mean, I can say that because I've explained, you know, my transition was seamless. But Serco as a company, they've been brilliant. And, you know, they've supported me. And yeah, if you're looking at leaving the forces, don't be afraid. That's all I say. There's lots of support out there. 30 years come August this year is the anniversary of the Royal Navy working with Serco. And there's definitely a connection there. Like I said, my 24 years in the Navy, obviously working and, you know, on the other side of it, you know, being on the warship, working with the Serco tugs. Yeah, there's always been that connection. I've been with Serco now coming up to 3 years. Within that 3-year period, I've had 3 promotions. I've still got that military connection, you know, in what I do, you know, what Serco does in Devonport, supporting the Royal Navy. I still get to see warships out my window. You know, I've still got that connection, if that makes sense.